One of the chief delights of a horror story is the pulse-pounding suspense. A horror tale is like an emotional, psychological roller coaster, bringing the viewer to the edge of their seat as the plot thickens and the tension increases. The horror genre produces this suspense in a variety of ways, and it can be categorized in a variety of subgenres. Today I will focus my discussion on the subgenre of quiet horror. What is a quiet horror story? A quiet horror story is a slow burn. It doesn't push its story elements to the extreme of a monster slamming through the window and ripping the people to pieces, all the while rubbing the viewer's nose in every detail. The quiet horror tale would instead depict a strange tapping at the window, in which the character finds nothing when they go to investigate. The plot would thicken by reoccurring moments of tapping at the window, along with a string of clues leading the character to the mysterious antagonistic presence. Atmospherics, subtle, sinister details are the key ingredients that make a quiet horror story work. Let's look at some notable examples in the horror genre to help demonstrate. Stephen King's novel The Shining depicts a variety of horror elements. Most prominent is the subgenre of supernatural horror. However, the novel does use quiet horror techniques, and some of those moments in the novel are the most genuinely frightening. I'm thinking of the scene involving the concrete tunnel in the playground, where the beckoning hand of an unseen child can be glimpsed. This eerie moment lingers with you long after you read it, stimulating your imagination with all kinds of frightening possibilities. Another example comes from the movie The Haunting of Hill House, based on the novel by Shirley Jackson. In one scene, Eleanor awakens in a dark room to the sound of increasing voices. She feels a mysterious hand squeezing hers. She screams, the voices silence, and she discovers she's not laying on the bed next to Theo, but is on the other side of the room. She voices aloud, "Whose hand was I holding?" Mystery is a key element at play in each of these examples. Through subtle and sinister details, a strong, suspenseful mystery, a terrible feeling of the unknown, resonates, stimulating our imagination with all kinds of terrible, paranoid possibilities. The experience of quiet horror falls in line with the finer emotion of terror. It's more than the visceral gut punch of horror, shock, or being grossed out. The quiet horror story evokes an intellectual response as well as an emotional. Have you ever read a story that gave you a lingering chill, a lasting, unnerved feeling by which we often describe as the creeps? This is often the effect of a quiet horror story. It's the lingering question at the end of Henry James's novella, The Turn of the Screw, that resonates strongly with terror, or gives us the creeps, as we wonder if the children may have truly been tormented by spirits, or was it all an hallucination, the possession of a delusional mind instead? Yes, quiet horror is a slower burn, but it oftentimes burns more deeply and more brightly. Interested in reading works of quiet horror? Here are a few to get you acquainted. The Turn of the Screw by Henry James. The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. The Dead Zone by Stephen King. Kill Creek by Scott Thomas. The collection of Edgar Allan Poe's complete short stories. That's a good place to get you started in the subgenre of quiet horror. And this is DeathGroundReviews, the monster that devours horror, suspense, and all those things the fantastic. Please subscribe for more great horror content. I try to upload every week, either Wednesday or Friday. See you next time.